All right, y'all. Before we dive in, a quick heads up.
This show is raw, real, and definitely not rated PG.
We're talking about adult themes, sexual content, and the kind of stuff you probably don't want blasting through your speakers at work or around your kids.
So grab some headphones, pour your drink of choice, and get comfy.
Oh, and just so we're clear, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or sex couches. Sex coaches,
Sex coaches.
not sex couches.
We're just a couple of people sharing our lives, experiences, and sexy adventures, and ethical non-monogamy. So with that, pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris.
And tonight we're diving into a conversation that's real, raw, and long overdue: bisexuality and the lifestyle.
Our guests are doing something seriously special. We've got Ashley and Rob, the bi-power couple behind the United Bi Swinging podcast, and TikTok creators who are breaking barriers and busting myths, bisexuality in the swinging world.
Yes, their show is all about normalizing bisexuality, especially for men, but also highlighting what it looks like for both partners when couples explore that together.
I love that.
Yeah.
They're proof that you can build connection, trust, and freedom while owning your truth. No shame, no hiding, and no apology.
Yeah, so pull up a chair, take a deep breath, and get comfy. This one's about to get honest. The curiosity is redefining what love and desire look like when you stop worrying about the boxes other people put you in.
That's right.
So we would like to welcome Ashley and Rob to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
This is great.
Yeah, what an intro. Oh my, I'm crying. You're
man.
crying.
I swear, he's good at that.
I like to talk up my guests, you know?
Yeah,
The guests are the focus of this show. I mean, we're all about community, and you guys are all in this community, and y'all are all in.
Yeah.
So just what we were talking about, you know, I noticed you guys from the podcast that y'all started up, United Bi Swinging. For people who have listened to past episodes, they know that I have a very strong stance. We both do on, acceptance in the lifestyle.
Yes.
And if there was anything that I've learned is that there is a lot of judgment in the lifestyle from other people in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And I know a lot of bisexual men have struggled to come out because of that. And that just bummed me out. So I love this. I'm excited to have you guys here. And before we go any further, I've got to know, first off, you guys are lifestyle. How long have you been in the lifestyle, and how did y'all even get into the lifestyle?
Yeah.
Do you want to kick it off or?
Do you want to kick it off?
What you started it, so I feel like you should walk us through it.
Yeah, so we're much newer to the lifestyle. We've only been in the lifestyle a little bit over 2 years, officially. And how we got started in it is an interesting story. My idea, of course. But there's a little bit of a backstory to it. So when Rob and I first started dating, he came out to me in the beginning. Yeah, there was a big reason for that too. I am Rob's second wife, and his first marriage ended over his sexuality.
Okay.
And so he knew in his heart that the next time that he is in a committed relationship, he is going to be out to his partner and be who he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, like you can't keep living, like you got to be you.
You got to live your truth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he met me.
Totally just worked out because of her background and coming from a household with two moms, gay family members, like kind of the alley-oop, right? Like it was like, this is going to be easy. I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but there's not going to be any judgment here.
Yeah, no, absolutely amazing and lucky to have that opportunity with Ashley to open up, to be me. And from day one, like no judgment, just, okay, cool.
And I think that him coming out and us being able to talk about it openly and actually start talking about different fantasies that involved male bisexuality. We probably would have joined the lifestyle a lot sooner in the beginning of our relationship, but we got pregnant.
Oh, yeah,
Damn kids.
that does that. That does that. Yeah.
So instead of, kind of walking that path, because we had a really, really fun, fiery sort of bedroom life, if you will. So we probably would have quickly been on that path. After I had our daughter, I struggled with postpartum, but didn't know it. So, and this is strange, we went from a almost 7-year dry spell in the bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I really struggled.
Like dry spell doesn't mean like it wasn't happening. It was just kind of once a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Check the box. It wasn't like we weren't intimate or romantic.
Yeah.
It wasn't the norm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it got to a point where I realized I had to do some, work on myself and get the help I need. And every step of the way during that portion of the journey, Rob was completely unwavering. He knew something was off, knew something was wrong, but knew what we had was such a beautiful thing. So his dedication to me, to our family, having a child, you guys have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you find your person, you don't give up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I was
You
gonna
just
say that. Yeah.
keep going. You figure it out.
Yeah. And that in itself could not be more opposite of one of the biggest stigmas that's out there, that all bisexual men, they cheat. They're on their way to being gay. They're going to leave you because I struggled.
How did our journey start though? Like that was, so the question, how did we get into swinging?
So when I got well, if you will, my body woke up.
Okay.
And it was like the clouds parted in the sky, and I turned to Rob right here and I said to him, "Hey, so I heard about this place. I think it's called Hito or something. Have you ever heard about that?" Like it was like a testing the waters kind of thing.
And as a husband, that you have a little bit of knowledge of these things, you know when to just shut up and just smile. And like, tell me about it. What do we got going on?
Yeah, for sure. And he, and again, listened to everything that I had to say. And underneath it all, for me, this was the start of me reaching out to him, because I knew that it was going to be important or good for us, for him to explore his bisexuality.
Right on.
I knew that was something that was there. That was something that we talked about before.
Right.
And I know in my heart that no matter how dedicated that he is to me, or amazing father, amazing husband, that he has those urges. And if I wanted to stay monogamous, yeah, he absolutely would. That'd be no problem. But
side note, this conversation started with, have you heard of Hito? Turned into, what do you think if we add a woman to the bedroom? And as a man, it's like, no, stop, don't. But
twist my arm.
She hasn't admitted, to this day, has not
almost
fully admitted, but knowing my sexuality and that it's not going to disappear. So as soon as she said, what do you think if we add a woman? I was chomping at the bit of like, that's awesome. What if we were to add a man?
Yeah. I was kind of waiting for that.
So I think she baited me. It's okay. It worked out for the.
Yeah, it really did.
But that was, I think, the introductory to the thought process. And then it was, how the hell do you find people?
Yeah.
When you live in these small towns, like where do you start looking? How do you start interacting? And that was a just as long process trying to figure that out.
I think it took us several years to find our footing.
But now I got to know, did y'all go to Hito?
We did not.
I've never been, so.
It's expensive, man.
That's right.
We'll
all go one day.
I'm so down. So we have not yet done any events, house parties, takeovers, or anything like that. And I think there is probably a small portion of it that has to do with there's not a lot of bi male parties. I don't know how do I. I'm not using my words right.
No,
No,
it's very hard
yeah.
to we've been in the lifestyle for 14 years, but we've been recently in this area where we're at, right? So it's a big community, but
It's such
the
a
men
large community.
are still very
Afraid to come out.
They're still afraid to come out. And
Yeah.
I get it. I was raised in a household where I couldn't even come out. Like my parents told me, if you ever come out as gay, you're out of this house. If you ever date outside of your race, you're out of this house. That's how it was. Yeah. As they got older, they understood and became a little bit more accepting, but I still hadn't come out. I didn't come out to my first husband. I didn't come out to my second husband. I came out to him, and that was in my 30s. I knew that
within a month that we were dating.
Yeah, I knew that I could have been complete, like, with women from the beginning. Had I been, accepted, had I been told it was okay. And so, but
then I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, then you wouldn't be here. My kids wouldn't be here, right?
Story that you met your person, and
I did. Oh, for sure.
There's something about this relationship that, like, you knew this is where I'm meant to be, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. And when we got into the lifestyle, I had already been in it before. I got him in it, and I was like, I just want to be with girls. Like, that's just my thing. Like, I love men, but I already have you. I just want to be with girls, and that's pretty much how it started. But
yeah, and
the guys come along every now and then.
Obviously, I wanted to have experiences, but at the same time too, I wanted her to have her experiences because she had never really been able to openly explore that before me. Yeah. And then we became poly for about 5 years because I wanted her to see what it was like to be in a relationship with another woman, because she needed to see what that was like, and now she knows it's not for her.
Sex part is fine. Friendship is fine, but not
like,
relationship. So
romantic relationships.
I am the same way. I've had 2 relationships with women in the past, and I'm like, I'm not sure that I would go back to that.
Yeah.
No,
it was okay.
I still love women, the friendship, the sex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Me too. You guys are pretty cool.
So y'all are a small town, and so there's not a lot of bisexual men. How are y'all going about even trying to fulfill your fantasies? Like, is it that hard?
So I am. So one of the things you said is small town. There's not a lot of bisexual men.
Okay.
That's not
Incorrect.
right.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing that we have found is bisexual men are not rare. It's the acceptance. They are everywhere. So finding them, the whole come out wherever you are.
Yeah.
We find that they come to us.
Okay.
So because we are listed as fully bisexual on our profiles, and they're using those filters to find bi males.
Right.
And they're all listed as straight. So when we very first started, we were listed as bi for a day, fully, both of us bi. Saw our neighbors on there. I almost threw the phone across the room. I didn't know what to do. I was shaking. I was going to start crying. Like, I was so new to it.
But it probably would have been different had it been you listed as bi, me listed as straight.
So what we did,
nobody would have cared,
is we flipped it to him being straight, just in case, right? What everyone else is doing.
Right.
And then it was like a week later, we looked at each other and we're like, if we're going to do this amazing, huge thing in this sex positive space and be who we are and grow as people and learn about your sexuality and your desires and act on things that are just fantasy but will be reality, we're going to freaking put ourselves out there.
Get your free flag out. Yes.
We flipped back to bi, and that inbox, it was...
No kidding.
Yeah.
We blocked them first.
You blocked your neighbors. That's Adam's fantasy that we have a neighbor that we could swap with.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Dude, we're not doing that.
That'd be incredible.
That'd be amazing. Truly beautiful couple too.
Yeah.
Like, just
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
She was like, when we first found him, she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I want to look through the picture." She's like, "No, stop.
He was like looking, and I was thinking it was
I want to know."
it felt like they could look inside of our windows at that moment, and that every second mattered. And he's like, "No, I want to read the description."
Did
And
you?
I'm like, he read it and everything.
What are you gonna do?
I didn't even look.
You gotta.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, so I have always been, so I'm straight. And I've always heard about from different people that have come and talked to us throughout the years that bisexual men, it's hard for them to come out. Most of them are married. Most of them are saying that they're straight. Several of them, I know, have trouble whenever they meet other couples because there's couples that they find out the man is bisexual and they're like, oh no, because he's going to want to have sex with me. No, I'm straight. And maybe we shouldn't do this, that sort of thing. I've seen it so many times before. There's kind of an old school pig-headedness that's still around that I really feel like we need to bring awareness to. Now, you guys had mentioned that there's not a whole lot of events. I see a lot of people yearning for this. There's a big want here for almost like a group or some way of connecting people in a community sense, because everybody's been so discreet for so long. So when y'all came out with your podcast, I've been passing that out to a lot of the people that I talk to out here because, it's important to have somebody that has resources and can establish a community. If you can't get accepted at certain tables, then you just got to start your own table and say, okay, come on over here, guys. You know what I mean? And that's what you guys are doing. And I think that's so friggin' cool. And so that's why we had to have this discussion.
Yes, for sure.
So on the topic of the events and us trying to, one of the things we really are trying to do, like you said, is create that community and bring resources and find where these events and things are. So I have had conversations with folks in a couple of different states that do host these bi events where you have to be, the male has to be either bi or gay, and the woman must be bi friendly. She doesn't have to be bi. But you have to be aware that, but there are no straight men allowed in these event spaces. So I am currently working on learning a little bit more about them, and hopefully we can get them going on the podcast and get some links and stuff to some of those events. So they do exist. So I don't want people to think that they aren't out there. So like you said, they're just few and far between.
Yes.
But they exist, and we want to try to make sure that people know where they are, where they can find them, how they can join those different groups. And some of them have their own platforms. And in addition to that, other resources, that is a big thing for us, because like you said, there's so many stigmas out there against bi men. They don't come out. And there's two really big reasons for it. When you're in a straight presenting relationship, right? So like Rob is married to me and we have our wedding rings, we have our home and our child. If we don't say it out loud, you can't see it. Bi visibility oftentimes is not a visible thing, it's auditory. So unless you're putting the word out there, unless you're saying it, and it's really funny, a lot of the people that have reached out to us have started to talk about little things that they do to show, even that they're married, that they are bi. So shoelaces, nail polish, lanyards, keychains, just like little things that help them feel a little bit more them. And on the note of resources, there are support websites and organizations out there that are available, not just for bi men, but also for their partners. So in addition to bringing that to light and letting people know where they can find those, we want to also create that for people. Because once you feel safe, once you feel heard, and you know that the person that's listening to you feels the same way you do, you feel less alone. And you can be more of who you are. And it's big for us.
Yeah, that's
I know there's so much because like I'm trying to remember what he said because
to remember. It's okay.
no, it's fun and it's the first time we've done this and it's
Yeah.
amazing to hear that other people are listening and and like to hear that you're sharing our stories with people that you come across like
so huge.
thank you first of all, and like second like that's so cool that, like we're sitting at our dining room table after our kid goes to bed and making some sort of impact is so cool.
Yeah.
But I think kind of where I want to dip into is that I think the question is kind of along the lines of like by events and by spaces. What I've noticed through my years, because I'm 40 or 41, depending on the, I've been on this journey for a while, trying to figure it out and trying to figure out who I am, what I like, and what's okay, what I'm okay with, and all these different things that come to the point where I'm at. There's so many people like me. There's so many. Like, I feel like the people I connect with best are only available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. when their wives aren't around and they don't know.
Man,
that community is huge. It's like your best friend next door, the guy at the grocery store. Like, it is so many people that, like, when you start connecting the dots, it's like you realize you know this person, you know the same people. And I think that's part of what we're trying to figure out and help unlock is like, let's stop the BS. Let's stop being afraid. And when you're able to be you, life can be so much better and so much easier,
Totally.
Yes. What kind of feedback have y'all gotten from your podcast? Because I mean, it's a very unique situation. I mean, it's for us, it's not unique, but for others, it is, right? To have a podcast that's a bi.
I want to jump in first.
Oh, you
Go
can.
ahead.
I can see her winding up. My fear has been, and again, it's a lot of this has been so therapeutic because other than Ashley, I haven't talked openly to a ton of people about the journey and how I feel and what I'm into and all these things. Knock on wood. It's been amazing and positive feedback. I think we're both so worried about what if we say the wrong thing and what if we trigger somebody and what if they come after us, and everybody has been so great so far.
Yeah, so the feedback we have had people make us laugh. We've had people make us cry. We've had people just literally move my soul to dance. Like, I can't even tell you, so many people have come out and said thank you and how grateful that they are that someone is, speaking on this, bisexual men in the lifestyle. And not just that, there's been some men that have said, hey, I listen to your podcast, every time. And at some point, this might be the podcast that I use to start talking to my wife. People have asked advice, about.
There's been men that have shared their stories. And we've had
many journey stories.
We've had wives reach out that, like, we found you guys and me and my husband, we listened to you. And like, it's so cool to hear people talk about, like, we found your podcast and this is what it means to us. And like, we're cooking dinner and listening to it in the kitchen and it's awesome.
Yeah. And I think the journey stories hit me the most. Because I think about Rob's journey story and what he went through, right? And when your husband hurts, when your partner hurts, you hurt. And those people that are recognizing that even though I'm out to my wife or my husband is out to me, this journey is not over. Because once they come out, they may have never had an experience with a man yet. They've only thought about it. They know that they have that desire. And so they're working with their partner to try to achieve that or find out what that is like. And that's a whole other part of the journey. And it can be emotional. It can be raw. It can be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So I had to take a time out because I'm watching them. When we go out with people and we meet people for the first time, something that, like, draws us in is watching the chemistry of other people. So I just watch you reach out and grab his hand, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love
This
it.
is us, we're always on each other. We're constantly touching
I
each
don't
other.
even
It's-
realize.
Like sometimes, yeah, she'll kick her
No,
leg
it's-
up while we're doing a show.
And I don't mean to put you
Yeah.
on the spot, but it's beautiful. Like when we go out with people, it's like that's who we tend to feel we connect with.
Same.
If
Yeah.
you're with a couple and like they're not even near each other, you're like, how do we include them, or how do we?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you watch
we're
people
nice.
just connect naturally, I just watch you reach over and hold his hand. I'm like, that's so cool.
And did you fall in love with me?
I appreciate it. And I'm a mush. I'm the emotional one. She's the hard ass.
Yeah.
I'm the one I'm like, oh my god, look at that. Like that's what you want to be in life.
And
like
you know what's
beautiful.
funny is it's the same thing with me. I'm the mushy one, and she's the hard ass.
Yeah.
So I love love, you know, and
That's
and I love
awesome.
seeing that sort of thing, and she's more the cynic.
I am.
And we're balanced because
yeah,
of it.
we
you
are
know?
a good.
Yeah, because I will run away and she keeps me.
It's
That's how
so
it goes.
cute.
That is how it goes.
I want to make one more point on the people
Yes.
reaching out.
Yeah.
There was one woman that had reached out to us and said that she was thinking about starting a podcast similar to this. They were brand new on their journey, and her husband had come out to her, and she let us know where they were at with their journey, brand new, and they were looking for this podcast, and they couldn't find it, and they were like, "Well, let's make one." And then our podcast came out, and we wrote them back. We wrote her back and said, "Girl, if that podcast is in your head and in your heart, jump in with us.
it.
We need you here." You
Yeah.
know, and everyone out there, if you're, thinking about a podcast that has anything to do with the bisexual male journey, or, you and your partnership, it doesn't have to be about swinging. It doesn't have to be about the lifestyle. Let's get those voices out there,
Get
because
the
again,
conversation started.
yes,
Yeah.
when it comes to bi men, it's not,
Just normalize it. Just
Yeah.
it's
stop the silliness.
bi visibility, again, in most cases, is auditory. So put your voices out there.
Yeah.
For sure. Anyway,
I love that. That's a really good point. No, that's a really good point. I mean, it's we have friends that won't even most of our friends are in the lifestyle, but we have friends in the lifestyle that are just other lifestylers don't even know that they are bi.
And it's a sub community
Yeah.
inside a bigger community. Both are very discreet, one more discreet than the other. And I've heard a lot of women express interest in finding bisexual males. And they're like, I don't know where to find them. And we need more groups, and we need to be able to find, because there's a lot of women
There is.
that and a lot of couples, I should say, that's their milieu. That's what they dig, you know, like that's their primary dynamic. And it's not brought to the forefront that often because people don't feel comfortable oftentimes talking about it. And at this point, it's like you're if you're a swinger, you should be getting used to having uncomfortable conversations, just period. No matter what. And I mean, no matter what, if you're going to be entertaining the thought of having sex with somebody else while you're in a relationship with somebody else, uncomfortable conversations are going to be had. And if you can't have those uncomfortable conversations, you ought not be in that lifestyle. And then that opens up the bigger uncomfortable conversation of, I think I might be into this.
Yeah.
And it's not anything we've ever talked about. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's explore that. And that's why it blows my mind that there's still judgment in the lifestyle towards other sub dynamics, such as this, because there's a lot of machismo-ness. No matter where you go, you're going to run into it. Everybody thumps their chest.
Yeah.
But I really am a big believer in 100% inclusivity. And in this community, there's a pot for every lid. There's a spot for everybody. There's a chair at our table, that's for sure.
That's
and so
Yeah,
I had to, I was drawn into y'all's podcast. I was drawn into y'all's content that was created. And it really felt like y'all were starting up something that was happening at a pivotal moment right now where the conversations are being had. They're just starting to be had. They're just starting to be normalized a little bit.
Which blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, really? You're still not accepting of everybody in our, like, the world is changing, people. Like,
Yeah.
At
this day and age and where we are, and
it's like women are. Why is it okay for women to be bisexual? Why isn't it okay for the male to be bisexual? Like, why is it such a thing for people that it's like, man,
and
grow up.
like, you know, I don't know. There's so many wins that we want to get, but you know, we come across profiles where it's, you know, if the male is bi, don't contact us.
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah. If that's your mindset, I don't want to contact you.
Exactly.
You know, like you're not our kind of people
already.
But then, like, you know, we've had a couple great opportunities where, like, because we're bi doesn't mean we have to play bi. Like, there's times we'll play straight and it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. And everybody has a good time. And, you know, like, because I'm bi and the other guy might not be bi, like,
it's all about vibe.
We're all going to be naked. Like,
it's fine. Like, everybody, like, consent is still a thing. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
Consent boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. And that's one thing that people start to, it's almost like they think it's a little bit blurry. Like, oh, if he's bisexual, you know, he's going to come after me. And on that point, we had a recent episode where I was asking Rob what his type was, and I was actually trying to pull it out of him. What is your type? You know,
Adam does that to me all the time.
Yeah, and I'm
so
like
ambiguous about it.
And he made a point on that episode where he said, "I can't be into a man unless I know he's into men."
Yeah.
And we had other men reach out to us and say, "I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I have to know that person has a profile that he is bisexual or that he has actually stated that before my brain will even flip." And it made me start thinking, straight guys, like, if you're just straight, there are so many bisexual men that won't even, you're just invisible.
Exactly.
Like, so stop flattering yourself.
And they're so full of that. Oh, well, so you're bi? Oh, you must want to fuck me. And it's like, dude, that doesn't mean that.
Women get it too, right? Because I am very selective. Like, I'm not gonna go down on every single woman that I see. It's just like I'm selective.
I'm not as selective.
No, I am very selective. Like, it is what it is. I don't like everybody, and it's
I like everybody. Everybody's my friend.
But
I love everybody.
that if a woman tells me that they are bisexual, I'm not playing with them, because
that means they need alcohol.
Yeah, they need alcohol. And I always make this joke. I'm like, well, I am always the situation, and I don't want to be your first person. Like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to feel good to me. So it's like, nah.
You want to feel desired.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, I will say I'm bummed here, okay, because I'm the only one who doesn't get to say that I'm bisexual out of the four of us. I feel like I'm not a part of the club, but you guys are very inviting. I appreciate that. I will be very honest with you. I love everybody, and I treat all of my friends the same, women, men. I treat everybody the same. I'm very affectionate. I'm very loving towards my people. And I have had some really amazing, really good looking men come on to me and ask me out. And I feel so horrible when that happens, because I'm like, dude, if I could be bi right now, I would so take you up on that. Like, we would go and
dudes, you be mine.
Yeah, exactly. Because I loved my kink is I like to feel wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I had a childhood where I never felt wanted. So now I'm older and I'm experiencing that feeling of being wanted, and it's so flattering and it's so wonderful, and I love every bit of it. But you know, I'm always like, I'm so apologetic. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could. I want to be there with you, and I'm so jealous because right now the cheese stands alone. But you know what? I love all you guys, so it's all good.
But they become really good.
You have a good ally.
There you go. There you go.
You have an amazing mindset, you know, to just love is love, and you know, even if it's not for you, to welcome it and accept it and be friends, and like, you know, even what we're doing right now to like help shed light on something that it's not for you, but you want to help, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've met a lot of people that struggle, and you know, I just think that sometimes people need the right resources.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age.
Oh yeah.
That struggle can be so terrifying. And Pris, you had made a comment about it being okay for women, or I don't remember exactly what the comment was, but something popped into my mind at that point, and it was about women in the lifestyle community. You know what it was? We were talking about the profiles. We have seen profiles that specifically say not just if you have a bi male, don't reach out. If you have a bi male, the lady is not interested. And
yes,
I'm gonna speak a little bit to that. I'll never forget. I was kind of cruising this forum that was for women, for mothers, for moms, and it's a spicy forum where we're all moms and we're busy and we don't.
That is an after dark.
Moms after dark.
It's like a group like that, and
the group that we want to be in, but we're not allowed in.
Oh man.
Okay.
So, it's happened on more than one occasion. A woman will go in there and she'll express that her husband came out to her, or that he's interested in pegging or some type of bedroom play like that. And Pris, like, let me tell you, as a woman, like, you think that these women are in there straightening each other's crown and all that, lifting each other up?
Nope.
Tore these women down. And the level of heartbreak that I experienced seeing that these women were saying, uh-oh, girl, you know what that means? That means that he's gay. He's on his way to being gay. So these women are in a really fragile, almost emotional time. They are looking for a place to be anonymous and speak about this experience and look for support. So the first place they think of to go for support is other women.
Yeah.
There should be 2 rules. 1, when you're sick, don't Google your symptoms. And 2, when you're stuck in your feels, don't go into a social media moms group.
No.
Right. Don't do it. Don't do it. And it breaks my heart that this isn't that it's not the place that you can go, because it should be. Because when it came to, you know, like the civil rights of, you know, when gays were trying to get their rights and they were doing their marches and they were coming out and they were doing all that, when it came to gay men, women were their first support. We were their best friend. We were their only friend. We became their mother, their sister. We marched beside them. You know, we held their hands. We talked about boys with them.
Yep.
You know, we were their love. We were their anchor. You know, women artists and celebrities, what they did for the AIDS crisis and the movement, you know, it was women, it was us. And to go into this group where, you know, a woman is saying that my husband is expressing a different sexuality, or he is, you know, wanting to have this different type of sexual experience, and to be torn down by other women. Like,
it doesn't surprise me, which is horrible. It doesn't surprise me, but it is horrible. It's a very pig-headed, I don't know, you live in a box under a rock type of situation.
Uneducated. That's the difference. Like education.
I totally agree. Ignorance. It's definitely alive and it's definitely still there. I mean, like I said, my family was 100% pig-headed. And that's because we had family that were, you know, I have a cousin who totally did a body transformation. She is now a male. You know, she's been with her partner for like 30 years. I have 2 cousins. One, they were both gay. They both got AIDS. And so, of course, that stigma stays and it stays and it follows generations and it follows generations. And I'm not going to lie to you. I had a very horrible stigma about bisexual men for many years. And then something in my head was just like, what the fuck? Like, why do I even, I would hate for someone to look at me that way, the way my family did. Why am I even like thinking like this?
It was around the time you came out.
Yeah. And it took a lot of,
I'm a very positive person, and I'm one of those where I don't really care what what your preferences are or anything like that. I just see the person, and it would bug me when she would express these judgmental
I was
things.
that person that was like,
and I'm like, you know
I
what?
don't
Let's have a
know.
conversation about this, and let's talk about it, and let's get down to the brass tacks as to why you have these thoughts, because nobody's born with these thoughts. We're all born as a blank canvas. It's the thoughts that are instilled in us either when we're growing up or what environment we're in or whatever. That's where those things creep in. And when you can pinpoint it, you can go all the way back to it and go, oh, that's why I think that.
Yeah.
And then you can go, you look at where you got it from and go, oh, well, those guys, they fucking suck.
Oh my God.
Why would I even
my parents
entertain
were
it?
fucking idiots. Like, oh my, like seriously, like I literally looked at him and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so ignorant and just.
And really for
dumb.
us, my main argument was we have children.
Yeah.
And they come out to us. Are you going to be pigheaded about it? Are you going to act this way towards them? And it's like, well, no, those are our kids. Well, these people are somebody's kids.
Yeah.
And they're people. Like, there's not, you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those things. And these are the conversations that need to be had, because not a lot of people think that way. And the moment that you kind of personalize it and you put a face to it and you put a name to it, all of a sudden it's very real. And it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That is such an amazing and inspiring point, because the things that you have learned that aren't true, they aren't right, and that they're hurtful, they can be unlearned. And that is the whole, bring out those podcasts, let's listen, let's go to events, let's create events, let's create spaces and times so that we can talk about it and help people to unlearn that, spaces for women, just, the partners, I say women, but when I try to use the word partner, because, there are gay men, that are in relationships with bi men, and the struggle is exactly the same. It's no different, whether you're bi.
Oh, yeah.
Is it that hour?
I didn't think about that.
What's that?
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about two men that are in a relationship, and
it's
maybe
funny
one is
that
bisexual.
you didn't, because we did a show in Chicago with my high school friend Jeremy, and he is full on gay, and he was in a relationship. No, that's what I was waiting for. That's why I was like, was that it?
I was like kind of looking like it's coming.
Yeah, I saw your face, and I was looking at the clock, and I was like, is it coming? Is it happening?
But this is the last one, and then it's done for the night.
That's all right.
So freaking much. Like, I feel like this clock is going to be, this sound is going to be part of our daughter's core memory.
That's they're going to have it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Like, she's literally going to have she's going to be a grandma one day, and she's going to be like, that was your great grandfather's clock.
When you're a kid, you look for the things that made you feel comfortable and safe in your home,
Yeah. I love that.
But sorry, it's very inconvenient right now.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to remember what I was saying.
Jeremy. And
oh yeah.
Women
That's right. So Jeremy is 100% gay. Yeah. And he realized in the show that he is performing a sort of non-monogamy, because he's dating a married man who's married to a woman. And he's dating another man who's involved in another relationship. So he's like, I didn't realize this until we had this conversation. Because he did not know that we were non-monogamous prior to that. It was like one of those episodes that it's like, hey, I wonder what you would think about this. And that's when we talked about whether or not the two circles or the two societies are very involved in each other. I know that there's people that have legs in both, but are they, and so we discovered a lot from that conversation. And I think that a lot can be discovered from having these kinds of conversations.
Yes, absolutely.
And, and I'm going to throw this out here because it's worth saying, because our listeners cannot see you. We have their logo over where their faces would normally be, because they are discreet.
Yes.
But I have to say this out loud. You guys are a couple hotties.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all are an attractive couple. So, just for people who cannot see you, I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, now I'm gonna go
That's
back
right.
to being nervous again because I think you guys are so sexy.
You were doing so good. Now you're going back to being nervous.
All right,
Look
so
at
you're
you.
gonna girl over here for a minute, but it's tough. It's something that we want to get to at some point, to be just truly, openly, unapologetically us. And there's just that little bit of like the nerves of like what if, like, like with job, more so my
It's legit,
job.
yeah. It's honestly mostly the job right now.
Yeah.
It is, I want to say 100% the jobs. If we didn't have that, and
Like,
and
there's
that
different
sucks that you
apps
can't.
that we have, or I have, that like as soon as I see somebody that I work with, they are blocked immediately. I don't even want to start a conversation. I want to give them the opportunity to maybe recognize me, just like,
Because that's our livelihood,
let's just head it off at the pass.
and so it's unfortunate that we can't, because we know that the background of the companies, well, maybe yours might change soon, but it's Christian sort of owned, if you will, and
But they're they're big in,
I understand. Yeah.
I don't want to call it like what would I say, like the wokeness, but there's a lot of groups that they're trying to do. They try to get involved with,
they're trying to be modernized.
Yeah.
Women's groups, everything. But
when it comes to, but I think that when it comes to folks at a certain level, they're probably not going to want that, and they probably also don't want us to be linked to our podcast.
Correct.
Because our podcast is very real and very raw. So even if we do come to a point where we say, screw it, and we're wrapping ourselves in bi pride flags and showing up to work, we still won't link ourselves to the podcast. We are not going to, hand out podcast cards at work.
I've been trying to convince Ashley to be my sugar mama for a while now.
There you go.
Especially now, if you want to be my sugar mama, then we don't have to worry about it. We could put our faces out and everything will be fine.
No, because if I have to work more, who's going to edit the podcast?
I'm Adam's sugar mama. He has to do all the podcast stuff.
I know. I was laid off in August.
Yeah.
But I worked for a company that was initially ran and owned by Canadians. So it didn't matter what my sexual preference was or what I do or anything like that. They don't ask no questions. And so that was nice. But of course, if you really don't want to worry about that kind of and having to be discreet, it's one of those things where you kind of have to work for yourself if you're going to be open, because you're going to deal with judgment no matter what, anywhere. We came out initially, or she came out, and then we came out as poly, because we had an accounting business at the time, and we worked for ourselves, and it was like, what are we afraid of? Who cares who's going to say what are we going to lose some customers? Fuck them,
Do you guys find that one was like more challenging than the other, or one had more of an impact, like your sexuality versus being poly?
So I will say that coming out, I want to say that coming out as poly was harder to explain to the kids and harder to
explain to anybody. Yeah, because of our relationship, we're so close.
Yeah. And
like,
we even got judgment from swingers when we came out as poly, because they were like, oh, you guys are going to be divorced in like a year. There's no way. You guys love each other too much. Y'all are all touchy feely. Like, we're always on top of each other, like all the time. And so for us to say, yeah, we're going to date separately and we're going to date together and we're going to kind of do this thing. And I had people reaching out to me and going, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And I was like, man, I'm not even worried about that. We're secure. Like, this is not a thing. But everybody is going to pretend or think that they know what's best for you. And the only people that know what's best for you are you.
Yeah.
And nobody else lives in your four walls.
No. And you know what? Your house is your safe zone, but you carry that wherever you go. So you have to be safe inside yourself, and you have to be happy inside yourself. And that's really hard if you're worrying about getting judgment from other people. And that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fun. So that's really where, you know, like we're big onto, you know, we respect everybody's discretion, because what it comes down to, it is jobs. A lot of people don't really care what other people think. I think there's a lot of people that are like, hey, you know, hit the bricks, you know, if you don't like what I do. But nobody wants to be judged at work and then have to lose their livelihood on top of that. Like, that's friggin' scary, man.
But you asked if we like the polyness or the swinging part. Is that what you were asking? Like, which one was the better?
Yeah, he hasn't listened to our podcast. So
about coming out as bisexual,
which one was
and you
harder?
talked about coming out as poly, and I sound like, which one was more difficult for you?
The poly, because I knew I was going to get a lot of judgment from that. But both of us were going to get a lot, because they were going to be like he said, like, why would you do that? And aren't you? I mean, of course, we always get the, aren't you jealous? And
you guys are just looking for a way to cheat on each other.
Yeah. So that was harder for me. That was definitely.
You would think that, you know, from the community, even people not in the community that are seeking to understand, that the first things that they would say is, wow, that is a strong foundation. Like, or they would, how did you do that? Give me the secret, you know?
Yeah.
So it shocks me, and it sounds so similar, you know, to a coming out experience for, you know, bi guys. You know, some of the feedback that you got, or some of that judgment is really, really walks the same exact line, you know? People automatically know how your journey ends. They know how your relationship ends.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing you a favor by letting you know, spoiler alert, he's gonna leave you, you know. And no, he gave me more of who he is, you know. And we have conversations that a lot of other couples, I mean, they could only pray to get to that level of openness when it comes to sharing each other's fantasies, sharing each other's desires, you know,
without being judged. Yeah, without being judged.
Yeah.
Yes. And so when Rob came out to me early on, it was almost like getting a gift. It was almost like getting more of him. Like, oh, I already have this amazing man, and he's
now you're
awesome.
getting more.
Yeah, I'm now getting I mean, like, the sense of you.
You're in it for the long run.
Yeah.
But it really unlocks another whole portion of who a person is once they trust you enough to share their sexuality, just like you did with Adam, you know. And now the conversations that open up along those lines, okay, you've just told me that you're bisexual or gay or whatever it is, tell me about that, you know. And just that sentence, it unlocks waves of what your journey has been like, how you've been hurt from it, how you've had to hide, the moments that you've embraced it, you know, the pieces of you that make you beautiful, or the pieces of you that you're still hiding from yourself. And now you get to start this journey together to find the rest of you. We're still finding pieces of him, right? And you know,
not just sexuality, but like, between the four of us, I think we can all think of a time, whether it's with current partners, past partners, whoever, there's a time where you sat down, probably in a dimly lit room, in a car or something, right? And you are just letting everything about yourself out. And you're having that deepest of deep conversations. And it's those moments where, like, the entire universe disappears. Like, nothing exists outside of that conversation. And it's like the most powerful moment of connection that can happen. Right. And then when you tie that into, if you are somebody that has a sexuality that's in hiding, that you can't share, like, being able to have that level of depth and conversation about something that's so, I don't know, sacred, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
it makes it like that much more powerful, that, like, I have found this person, I can have this conversation, and like, you want to live in that moment forever.
Yeah. That level of trust. And one thing that I think is important to say too is, we are on a swingers podcast. We are all swingers. We're in the lifestyle. And I just want to make it clear that when it comes to mixed orientation relationships, so whether you're straight with someone who's come out to you as gay or bisexual, or you're a bisexual man with a bisexual woman, not every mixed orientation relationship has to go into ethical non-monogamy or into the swinging world or into the lifestyle. I want to make it absolutely clear that you can be monogamous or poly or E&M and in a mixed orientation relationship and thrive. Because when it comes down to the brass tacks of being able to thrive in that relationship, it's the communication. And that's where you're going to find your journey or your path. And you, like you guys, you tried poly and said, we're not.
We gave it a fair shake, 5 years.
Yeah. And you can turn back and you use that communication to reroute or try something new or different. And you still come out on the other side, healthy and in a thriving relationship. That trust never leaves. That journey doesn't have to end in only one way.
Yeah. Well, the goal should always be to grow.
Yes.
To grow as a person, to grow in life, to grow as how we think, how we feel. Everything is learned, and we learn from everybody that's around us. But really, if you just take the time to evaluate ourselves and just kind of go, okay, I got to get better at this. Mm-hmm. I gotta learn this better. And I think that most people are afraid to do that. But luckily, we have people like yourselves and us. We're all very open-minded, and we all like to talk and have those conversations. And I gotta say, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I'm gonna talk to you guys all night, and I know it's gonna be problematic for all four of us. But I do want to say that I love everything that you guys are about. I love y'all's personality. I mean, your love for each other shines through, which I think is incredible. I'm really glad that we could have you guys on the show. And, I'm really glad that we can have this podcast to refer to others who may be struggling, who need somebody to talk to. We like to be there for all of our listeners. We are reachable by messenger or email or whatever, however they can, for whatever they need to. And you guys seem to really be open and genuine, and it easy to be vulnerable with. Yes. Which I think you provide a safe space for people, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And so Ashley and Rob, you two are doing incredible work, and this conversation is exactly why we started Beyond Monogamy in the first place, to keep creating space for real stories, real people, and real love, no matter what that looks like.
Yeah, it's a couple like you who remind everyone that bisexuality isn't a phase or a problem. It's just another part of who someone is, and the partner support exploration with honesty and empathy. That's all what we need. Like, that's what we thrive for. So it doesn't break a relationship, it deepens it.
Yeah. If you want to keep up with Ashley and Rob, make sure to follow the United by Swinging podcast wherever you listen, wherever you stream those podcasts, wherever you find us, you'll find them as well. And they're on TikTok, so be sure and scope that out. Pretty much everything Ashley and Rob and United by Swinging can be found on our show notes, as well as their guest profile on our website.
Yes, and while you're at it, make sure you check out all the things Beyond Monogamy at beyond-monogamy.com. You'll find all of our upcoming events and our Beyond Monogamy confessional and the links to every platform we're on.
Yes. You can also catch us every Thursday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central on FullSwapRadio.com, alongside a ton of other sex-positive shows that we love.
If this conversation resonated with you, help us keep growing. Like, share, and review the show wherever you listen. It's free, it takes a second, and it helps new people find these conversations that deserve to be heard.
Exactly. We're building something real here, a judgment-free community for open minds and open hearts. And every review, every share, every listener who says, oh, damn, I thought I was the only one. That's how this movement keeps growing.
Yeah. So thank you for being here.
Yes. And Ashley and Rob, thank you for being a part of this journey. To you. All of our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Yeah. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.